justice and peace and equality.
All right, Game Changers Magazine, Game Changers Media Network, Voices of the Village podcast, where change starts with conversation. And today we have a very special guest, actor, musician, survivor.
Yeah.
Survivor. Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
For sure, man.
Mr. Tray Chaney, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, Dre, I'm happy to be on here, man. Yeah, we doing the best we can right now, man, but any day above ground, you know what I'm saying, is a blessing, you know.
Life after the storm.
Yeah, life after the storm. Well, let me just take it back to that day.
Okay.
So May 29th, 2025, right?
Right.
We wake up, me and my son Malachi.
Right.
My wife, she went to work.
Okay.
But that day was special because we actually had a huge interview set up with Big Tigger, V103.
Right.
Big Tigger Morning Show, Jazzy McBee, V103, and it was me, Snoop from The Wire, and my son, Malachi Chaney, because I've been on a national press run with The Wire turning 23 years old this year.
Okay.
So, you know, me and Malachi, he was very excited to go and accompany me with doing press, because I've been taking him on press runs since he was a baby.
Okay.
You know, so he's used to that type of lifestyle and different things that I've introduced him to as far as the movie business and show business.
Right.
So we go to V103 that morning at maybe like 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And it's me, Malachi, Snoop. We see Tigger. I'm showing Tigger pictures from when, you know, he had pictures with my son when my son was like 5 years old,
right.
to now. So everybody was just, it was a beautiful morning, you know, It was a great day. So we did the interview, and after the interview was up, maybe like around 12, 1 o'clock,
right.
Malachi said, "Dad, let's go get something to eat. I want to go get me a sandwich from Jimmy John's." That's where he used to work at.
Okay.
So he wanted to just see some of his old co-workers that he hadn't seen in a while since he's been in college. He goes to Savannah State University.
All right.
So we went there. We got something to eat. Went home, and the plan for that weekend was to fly to D.C. because my niece Demi Stevenson she graduated high school and she was throwing a big party.
Right.
On that Saturday, which was the 31st.
Okay.
Which would have been May 31st.
Okay.
And then Malachi's birthday is June 1st. So right after the party in D.C., we were going to do something special for Malachi that Sunday, which was June 1st. So about 2:45, 3 o'clock, I just remember Malachi, me and him always sharing laughs, and he's showing me stuff on his phone.
Okay.
And he said, "Dad, I'm a go in my room and play my game."
Right.
He like, "I know you get ready to go pack, and I'm already packed up because we was going to leave that next morning."
Oh, wow.
So, you know, that day, you know, once he goes in his room, I said, "All right, well, I'm going to go in the room. I'm going to just finish packing."
Right.
And I guess this had to be around, like I said, 2:45, 3 o'clock. I sit on the edge of my bed, and it was raining.
Wow, yeah.
And, you know, it was just like...
And it came out of nowhere, really.
Yeah, it was just raining, you know, raining regular, and the wind started blowing, you know, and it was just... It felt like it was regular until the wind started to not sound like the wind.
The wind, yeah.
You know, the rain started to come down as if it was and this might sound crazy, but as if it was a train in my house.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it sounded like it was like a Mack truck or a train inside of my house. And then I was on my phone, and before you know it, I started seeing my walls fly towards my face. I seen my walls fly towards my face. I seen my TVs, flat screens that I had in my room, fly towards my face, and the room was spinning. And next thing you know, I levitated in the air.
Wow.
With my bed. And that's
where was your wife during this time?
My wife was at work.
Okay.
My wife wasn't inside the house. Only people that was inside the house, just to make that clear, was me and my son.
Okay.
And you know, once I levitated in the air, I must have been unconscious, because I don't remember anything except waking up, wrapped in sheets, my face in the mud.
Right.
And I thought I was suffocating. I don't know. It was just a feeling of being trapped, you know. And I guess now that I look back, the sheets being wrapped around me as the tornado was going was because I was sitting on the edge of the bed. I do remember when all of the walls and the stuff was flying at me, I remember covering up like this. And then I remember going up with my bed in the air.
Wow.
So once I, like I said, once I was down on the ground facing the mud, I'm spitting out whatever out of my mouth, mud or whatever. And then when I was finally able to get the sheet off of my head,
Okay.
it was, my roof was gone.
Now, as you're looking and you're seeing all this going on, what do you think about Malachi? Do you think do you even think about Malachi at the time?
The thought of my son Malachi was just running through my head during the whole process.
Okay.
Because he was the only one in the house.
Right.
So the thought of that was one thought. But then me being unconscious, when I'm finally able to come out of the sheet, and I'm looking at my entire house in my yard or wherever it was.
Right. It was everywhere.
The first thing I did was I jumped up.
Okay.
And I yelled my son's name.
All right.
Malachi. Where's Malachi? That was the first thing I said out of my mouth.
Right.
And by that time, you have my neighbors, who were in my part of the neighborhood, running towards me.
Yeah.
By this time, I'm standing up.
Yeah.
So they're like, was anybody else in the house?
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's my son? I gotta find my son now. And they like, your son was in the house. And I'm like, yeah, he was in the house. Where is he? Okay. He's nowhere around right here.
Wow.
So the neighbors were trying to calm me down because I was in a state of shock.
Yeah.
At that point, adrenaline, I'm bleeding from this part of my head, which I had a knot on and still got a little scar.
Okay.
But to be able to come out of that and just automatically, where's my son? Where's my son?
Correct.
Where's my son?
Correct.
It was the fear as a father, as a parent, as a man, you know, of we have to find him.
We got to find him. Now, so as the news reported, Malachi was thrown 300 feet away from the house.
As if it was like a football field.
As if it was like a football field. Yeah. Now, we both live out in that area.
Yeah, I know.
We see where they're cutting down trees. Yeah. They're cutting down everything. Mm-hmm. At what point did you know Malachi was in the woods?
So this plays out like a movie. So when I finally got up and I'm going hysterical and I'm saying I need my son, find my son.
Okay.
That may have carried on for maybe 25 to 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, because we got to think. First, we're up. If the neighbors are running towards me, they're calling 911. I'm telling one neighbor, call my wife. She needs to get home. Then all of this is just happening. Everything's happening at the same time. So it's at least, it had to be 20, 25 minutes. I'm going to just give it that.
Yeah.
Because when my wife pulled up, Malachi still hadn't been found.
Right.
She works 10 or 15 minutes from, I'll say 10 minutes from where our house was.
Okay.
So by the time she pulls up, she has her moment of collapsing in the neighbor's arms, looking at the house be ripped to shreds, destroyed.
Yes.
So it's a moment of her having her experience.
Okay.
Then it's them holding her up, and then I'm on the ground vomiting, you know, because it was a lot. It was adrenaline. It was mud. It was pouring down still.
Right. Yeah.
So it was raining. Like, it's just like.
Yeah.
And I had on a cut off shirt. So it's just. And then me and her lock eyes. She runs towards me. We hug, and we're both yelling our son's name.
Right.
So then by that time, the paramedics or the ambulance, fire trucks are coming.
Yes.
Then we hear, we found Malachi back in the woods.
Yeah.
It was that far away from the actual house.
Yes.
And when they said they found Malachi, they said he's breathing. So we were like, okay, he's breathing.
What a relief.
That was the relief of him breathing.
Okay.
But then, you know, when they said he's breathing, the paramedics and they all run to his aid, right? But when we seen him, me and my wife seen him on the stretcher.
Right.
The good sign of him screaming and hollering was a good sign.
Right.
Because at least he wasn't just not saying anything.
Yeah, not saying
because if he wasn't yelling
Vegetable
or screaming,
state,
if it was vegetable, that would have been the issue.
That would have been
Then, you know, with that being said, with him hollering and yelling and screaming, me and my wife was hysterical as well.
Yeah.
So as they were putting him in the ambulance, they're like, okay, we gotta rush him to the hospital.
Right.
But we were trying to like jump in the ambulance, and they were like, no, Tray, you have a head injury. You're bleeding. You have a knot on your head.
Okay.
That's something that we have to pay attention to as well.
Okay.
So it was another ambulance that came for me.
Wow.
So it's like, oh, I forgot that I woke up under my house.
Yeah.
And I had an injury.
And I mean literally under the house.
Under my house. You know, it was bricks. It was the refrigerator. If my head would have been anywhere close to the nail that was beside me, or the brick that maybe I escaped from being wrapped in the sheets.
Right.
It's
so many things that could have happened. But
it's so many things that could have happened. But like you said, by the grace of God, I'm able to speak about it. But after that, we get in the ambulance. My wife thinks she's getting in the ambulance with Kai.
Okay.
So we're riding to the ambulance. We're riding in the ambulance. We go to Piedmont. They took me to Piedmont, Henry County Hospital.
Okay.
That's where they were initially supposed to take Malachi.
Okay.
But once we got there, Malachi was flown to Grady.
Right.
Because they said his injuries were trauma. It was way realer than mine. And when he goes to Grady, we sitting in there, they treating me for the injury. I may have been discharged maybe 2 hours later.
Wow.
So I get discharged 2 hours later.
Yeah.
The doctors are still corresponding with us on the phone when it comes to Malachi.
Okay.
My sister-in-law, Rayhana, rushes to Malachi. My Aunt Vonnie rushes to Malachi where he's at, while me and Aisha are with me at Piedmont.
Okay.
But by the time I got discharged, it might have been like 8 o'clock.
Gotcha.
So it was still a little light outside. So when we went back, we actually had to go back to the house because Aisha had left her truck there.
Okay.
We rode in the ambulance.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was parked in the neighbor's driveway. Like, okay, we'll see y'all whenever y'all get back to get the truck. We had to get the truck so we can get to our son.
Man. Now, going through that, man. What a wild experience. You talked about your neighbors.
Yeah.
You talked about your neighbors.
Yeah, all of y'all.
How they immediately ran to the cause, and I believe the neighbors were like the first responders.
They were.
They performed in the first responding nature. What did that mean to you?
Man.
I mean, we're not saying we in Beverly Hills. We're not saying that we the boule, none of that.
Yeah.
But what does it mean to have neighbors that ran to the cause, that said, hey, you know what? We gotta protect our own. We gotta stand by our brother right here.
Love thy neighbor is a serious term.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
if it ain't never been more serious in the world, it's serious to me and Aisha and Malachi right now. But it meant a lot, man, because if it wasn't for them,
Okay.
you know, I don't know if we would have survived it like how it is now. I don't know if my son would have been found. But I can't really say that because I think I would have searched if nobody was there, of course. But just the assistance of y'all, our neighbors,
right?
Like saying, okay, we gonna find your son. That's
Yes,
that's all y'all kept saying.
Yeah, that's
we
it.
gonna find
That's
your
it.
son. We gonna find your son.
Yeah.
And my son was found. So even me speaking out, you know, even being on the podcast, being in television, in the network, in news media.
Yeah.
If you notice, my neighbors are the first thing
that come out your mouth.
say.
Absolutely.
Like my neighbors they saved my son's life.
Yes.
They got my son to where he needed to go for his life to be saved through the grace of God.
Yes, sir.
So it mean a lot to me, man. And what it did too was it brought us together.
Yes, sir.
And it almost made us, not almost, but it really made us understand that we need each other. You know what I'm saying? We need each other. Sometimes I think when you're living around the neighborhood, somebody like myself who's in the business, you're in the business.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of people that got a lot of different things going on. We may not necessarily, talk or see each other like that. Or if we see each other in passion, it's always what's up, it's love.
Right.
But to honestly, for a tragedy like that to bring us together.
Yes, sir.
That brought us together, and it changed the neighborhood. Man, it changed the energy. It's a lot of our neighbors right now saying that they in therapy right now.
Yeah,
just off of still living in the reality of that nightmare. That traumatic disaster. Yeah.
Now. We're gonna go. We're gonna go to a commercial break real quick. Okay. Because we got sponsors that
for sure,
that
brother.
do their thing, man.
For sure.
But we're gonna come right back. We got Tray Chaney of The Wire.
Yeah, man.
Life After the Storm, Game Changers Magazine, Game Changers Media Network, Voices of the Village podcast. Where change starts with conversation. You guys stay tuned in. Ease up.
Yeah. At A New Well, we believe every day should be lived with dignity, comfort, and care. Located in the heart of Stockbridge, Georgia, our adult day center offers a safe, welcoming environment where compassion meets quality service. Whether your loved one needs daily support, engaging activities, or just the warmth of a friendly smile, we're here. At A New Well, we provide high-quality care, either in our beautiful facility at 931 Rock Quarry Road or from the comfort of their own home. Our dedicated team ensures every individual lives life to the fullest. And with Medicare Advantage and other insurance options accepted, peace of mind comes standard. So when you're ready to give your loved one the care they deserve, call A New Well today at 1-800-341-0120. That's 1-800-341-0120. Or visit anewwellinc.com, where care, comfort, and compassion flow together. When it comes to your health or the care of a loved one, nothing matters more than trust, compassion, and comfort right at home. At Baylor Home Healthcare Services, LLC, we bring professional, personalized care to the heart of rural Georgia. Our skilled team is dedicated to treating every client with dignity, respect, and the attention they deserve. Whether you're recovering from surgery, managing a chronic condition, or simply need support day to day, we're here for you. With tailored programs, confidential care, and flexible scheduling, Baylor makes your well-being our top priority. We offer nursing services, personal support, and companion sitting services. Because at Baylor, your home is our care setting. Call us today at 478-365-9062 or visit BaylorHomeHealthCareServices.com. We accept various insurances. Georgia Medicaid accepted. Discover care that feels like family with Baylor Home Health Services, LLC.
tried to shoot me or Malachi.
Okay.
Nobody tried to stab us. Nobody hit us in their car while we were driving.
Right.
This was a natural disaster.
Definitely.
It just hit my home, and it happened to be me and him, and being a public figure in the community of film, television, music, entertainment. It's almost like my perspective on life has completely changed.
Correct.
Material things, money, cars, clothes, fame, houses, jewelry.
All of that was spread out all over the neighborhood.
It gone. Disaster.
Yeah.
So it's like you may have lost that.
Okay.
But one of the most important things that you didn't lose was your life.
Correct.
And you didn't lose your son. Because I'm going to be honest with you, bro.
Uh-huh.
Like, if I would have lost my son,
Yeah.
I don't even know if we'd be having this conversation.
Oh,
right
I
now.
already know.
I honestly 100% think I would have checked out. Like, for real. I don't know if that's something to say or whatever, but it's a father's love. It's a father's love. It's that real for me,
right?
Just because of everything that the whole entire world has seen from me as a father. Whether I'm in front of you, whether you don't see me, from the time my son was born.
Correct.
June 1st, 2006 to now him being 19. He spent his 19th birthday in ICU.
Right, wow.
So having to carry that type of load, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the tornado, we stood toe to toe with a tornado.
Come on, man.
And won.
Come on, man.
And the reason why we won is because we still living and breathing.
That's right.
But the aftermath of watching him scream at night from the pain of his ribs being broke.
Wow.
Every bone in his face fractured, broke.
Yes.
Spinal, top of his neck, broke. Brain injury.
Wow.
Cuts, war wounds all over his arms, his stomach, his back.
Yes.
Watching that as a parent.
Yes.
If I could, if it could have been me, and I would have rather me be in ICU than him.
Oh, I totally understand.
Yeah, I would have rather him be doing interviews and podcasts talking about his father.
Correct,
because
correct.
that right there, I don't wish it on nobody. Usually people say my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish, but you don't wish this type of pain on. Even if somebody tried to harm me in the past, I don't wish this on them.
Oh, nobody. And it's funny. It's funny. I'm glad that you brought that up because we got to be careful of the things we say.
Yeah.
Devices that we put on people and say, "Oh man, die slow," or we say so many mean things to people, but then we don't really understand the weight that words carry.
Words carry, bro. They carry in the sense of. And that's another thing that I wanted to stress too. I'm big on manifesting.
Okay.
All positivity.
That's right.
My life leading up to that moment, in my 43 years being on the earth, it's been positive.
Absolutely.
But what I did was, for some reason, the number 7 keeps popping in my head.
Oh wow.
I went back 7 days from the 29th, which was the 22nd.
Right.
And May 22nd, leading up to May 29th, you always get the positive affirmations from me. I have Gems by Tray Chaney, which I share overcoming trials and tribulations and, staying strong.
Yeah.
I have the whole chopped salad with Tray Chaney, getting people to eat healthy.
Yes.
Eating a healthy salad, drinking water, working out at the gym.
Okay.
Family, the love I had for my wife after being married for 20 years. My son, my daughter, my granddaughter, my mom, my dad, my sister, my aunts. Like, I was looking at all of the posts leading up, and something just hit me. I was like, was I being prepared to survive a tornado?
Yes.
It's almost like I'm getting you ready.
Yes.
Like I was looking at the way I was eating, the way I was at the gym. I've been in the gym for the last going on 5-6 months straight anyway.
Right.
So the prep, and Malachi has been in there with me. So the preparation for, nobody's prepared for anything like that to just hit.
No.
But like I said, to survive it.
Come on now.
And be like, now I get what God was trying.
What God was trying to do.
What was trying to do. And like I said, man, I want people to understand too that God didn't do this to me.
Right.
You know, this is the devil.
Right.
Because I'm too positive on just uplifting my people in the community. It's a lot of great things that was happening, you know, for a number of years leading up to this. So what God did for me was show him and his son. It's like the book of Job.
Man.
You can take everything away from Tray Chaney, Malachi Chaney, and Aisha Chaney, and their faith still won't break.
Still won't waver.
Their faith and belief in Jehovah, God, won't break.
Right.
You could take everything away, but you won't kill them.
You won't. No.
They not going to die.
Definitely not.
And I think God showed.
Now,
God showed it, bro. Like right now, my message, my perspective on life, of course, I always say it changed, but my message now, the message is bigger. The mission is bigger. The movement of people drawing close and understanding who God is.
Right.
If anybody knows, me and Malachi Chaney know.
Oh, definitely.
Because
definitely.
it's when you in a tornado and you experiencing a tornado in real time from start to finish,
right,
you're looking at life and death.
Correct.
So I looked at death. I looked at death while I was in the air. I looked at from the time I was born to it was happening until I was unconscious.
Wow.
And I'm sure, you know, with my son's brain injury, with Malachi's brain injury right now, he may not remember in detail too much.
Okay.
But he knows something is happening. He knows something tragic happened. And now, as his senses are starting to like come back and he's back on his phone,
right,
he's looking like, wow, I this would happen. He even us showing him the house, because whatever questions my son asks, he has to know.
Yes.
That's not nothing you bottle up. That type of trauma is nothing that you can hold in. And that's why even him, like us sharing and collaborating on social media to show people,
yes,
you can't hold this type of trauma in to say, oh, nah, I ain't talking about it.
Correct.
You would kill yourself like that, inside and outside, because this is not. I tell people every day, man, I have to continue to talk my way through this. I got to cry my way through it.
Right.
I have to write my way through it. Like I know I've probably written the most powerful chapter, or scene, or book. I don't know what this is, or introduction to a documentary or docuseries that I've ever written in my life. It's sitting in my journal now from May 29th, 2025.
Well, based on the social media and follow you on social media, you've taken people on a journey like no other. A lot of people say social media is powerful, that, hey, man, we utilize social media. But you took the time out to take people on a journey. Yeah. From day one. The
first day, Dre, I had scrubs on from that day from getting checked out of the hospital.
Correct. Yeah.
I was getting I got treated for an injury. I got discharged from the hospital at 8 p.m.
Okay.
All I had was scrubs. They took my clothes because they got to cut your clothes off to make sure your whole body's good. While my son was suffering, this is the first day, while he was suffering at Grady, I'm in the back of what was once called the Chaney household. Destroyed. So that was day one. That day one, video of me in the backyard saying, "A tornado hit my crib and me and my son survived," that's a moment in history. Like nobody had never.
Yeah.
And then from that day,
yeah,
you seen the journey.
You seen the journey.
You seen me work. You see me working out next to his hospital bed. You see me
laying by his bed.
You see me crying. You see us beside him. You see my wife. You see my family come in town. My mother, father, mother-in-law, my daughter, my aunt. The journey is a movie, and
Yes.
and that's why it's being documented.
Absolutely.
Even this right here,
Yeah.
Game Changers like this. This is being documented because history. They're going to speak about this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like this going to get talked about for forever, man. And life after the storm or life after the tornado is just like it's take it one day at a time. Because it's no just jump back into the groove of whatever was happening before this, because
right.
everything's gone.
Everything's
so
gone.
It's the rebuild, restart, recharge.
Right.
It's not. It's not. I don't like, and I told you this several times. I said, Dre, I really don't even. I still don't really know what to say.
Yeah.
But I'm saying a lot.
Yeah.
But I still don't really know what to say, bro.
You get to say what you get to say how you feel, because I believe God, the Most High, the supreme architect of the universe, is giving you a platform that's big. It's like the word wire. See, words have meanings. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
And it's
bro.
kind of like you're celebrating 23 years of the wire, but God is wiring you for a bigger purpose, a bigger platform, a bigger mission, a bigger purpose. Because 9 months before that tragedy happened in your home, that same tragedy happened in my son's home in Valdosta.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? And it's funny because he came to me and he said, "Dad, I love what Tray is saying. He's inspiring. He's giving me hope." You know what I mean?
Whoa,
now, he lost his mother.
Okay, sorry
He
to
lost
hear
his
that.
mother during the storm,
Whoa.
And God bless that he spared his life, and he has a purpose for his life. But just your personal journey on social media, he would come back and say, "Dad, hey, Tray, I like what Tray said. Hey, Dad, who is Jehovah? Like, what is Tray? Is that a different guy?" Like, he's just asking me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And it's fun.
I mean,
and we're opening it up.
Opening
it up for you're touching so many people's lives that you don't even know.
And I know, and you told me that. And sometimes I know when you're in it,
right?
You can't really see nothing else. Like a good friend of mine hit me the other day, and he mentioned something about what's happening in the world of everything, and I'm like, bro, my world is Kai and my wife. Like, I don't know. My world, I stood up in front of what was once called the Chaney household yesterday and held up my Bible. I found it. I found my wedding ring.
Wow.
It's like this the chain I had on the day of the tornado.
Wow.
It didn't come off my neck.
Wow.
So it's like every day is almost a learning experience of me getting to know myself.
Okay.
Through trials and tribulations, my son.
Yeah.
Through trial, and my wife. Every day is like a learning experience of, because we still got to think too, the adjustment from going from a house being built from the ground up in 2020.
Yes.
Demolished 5 years later, 2025.
Yeah.
Me and my wife are in a hotel. We got insurance on the house, we got insurance on the car. That's a whole nother beast though, because regardless of whether you almost died in a tornado, they still treat you as if you're a regular person.
Absolutely.
And when I say that, you still got to go through protocol. They don't move quick enough. And then they demand you to do X, Y, and Z while you're still comforting your son that has a brain injury, and you got to admit him in a rehabilitation center. So the different levels of stress that comes with life after a tornado.
Okay.
it's different levels to it. It's like, okay, you survived the tornado, but your house is gone. Where are you going to live? Are you going to have somewhere stable by the time, however long it takes for him to heal in the rehabilitation center, Shepherd, which is one of the best? Are you going to be, or looking at my wife in a hotel the size of, even if it's the size of this office, it's a suite. All right, cool. But I can't go to that dresser and grab, oh, that's gone. I don't got no coat no more. That's gone.
That's gone.
The shoe, designer shoes, gone.
Gone.
Money that might have been on the dresser, gone.
Gone, yeah.
So it's like, all right, get to know yourself now. Like and then understand, and then understand who God is. Like all the plans I had, it's gone.
Right.
It wasn't my plan.
Right.
So when I had to, so now every day is therapeutic for me to ditch out there on social media. Y'all, this was going on with me today.
Yes.
Today I'm crying.
Yeah.
All day. Today I'm happy. Malachi, man, today my wife had to check me.
Yeah.
Like different things. It's just like getting to know myself after this, because I didn't. If I never knew anything, I ain't know myself, bro. Like for real, all the way up until this point, I don't think I really knew, because that's when you understand who is who when you're going through trials and tribulations.
Correct.
That's when you understand who really cut for, or who built for certain type of adversity, and that's when you know what people made of.
Yes, sir.
Because right now, going from who I was, what I was, where I was headed, in my own mind, like, oh yeah, this, man, we get ready to do X, Y, and Z projects. This how much money I'm gonna have over here. This to having nothing.
Yeah.
God is in control, and I'm no longer questioning His plan. Yeah. I'm no longer. It's cool to make plans, but my plans of being made now is just touch on it a little bit,
right.
because right now in a split, I seen what making plans look like,
right?
In my own experience, I don't know, and I think people are living that with me, that I share my stuff with, but I seen what having plans and that plan drastically changing, not just not saying, okay, yeah, we're gonna go here Saturday, but the flight got delayed, so we'll go Sunday. We gonna go here Saturday, but your house is getting ready to get destroyed. Boom.
Ain't nobody
you get ready to lose everything. Boom.
And nobody prepares for the house to get destroyed.
Ain't no going nowhere for a very long time.
Right.
Your son in ICU. You're like, what? PTSD for me is like, I can't feel it rain no more.
Right.
Emotional stress from my wife saying, our 19-year-old baby is back to being our newborn baby. These the levels, bruh, like, that I don't know if, until people understand it. And another thing too, man, I'm glad we having this conversation because it allows me to share. Right. I understand. First and foremost, I appreciate all the prayers.
Yes.
The prayers that's what's needed, other than saying, be strong.
Come on, man.
And when I say that, I mean, be strong in this particular situation.
Yes, sir.
Is a trigger. Because we were already strong.
Right.
We survived a tornado.
Yeah.
I woke up under my house. My son woke up 300 feet thrown in the woods.
Man.
We still living. We got through the strong part.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, be strong.
Yeah.
With everything that I just named, all of the stuff that I'm going through mentally, just say, I'm going to throw a prayer up to God for you.
Come on, man.
That's it. Because that's all you can do now. Because every day with a situation like this, I'm not going to be strong. It ain't no
way.
The strength is already, it's gone. It's gone.
No way.
Be strong for your son. Be strong for your wife. You like, damn, bro. Like, flashbacks of waking up under that house with them bricks on top of my back.
mentally triggered.
That's strong. That's strong.
That's strong.
I've been strong already. Now it's just say a prayer. Yeah, just pray for me. That's it. Or we could pray together, or whatever. Like, I mean, and that was the message that I put out there on my social media the other day, because I was like, I don't know if people, like, even the people that's saying it, it's like, bro, until you understand this level of strength,
right,
mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Come on now.
The spiritual part comes from, I'm not blaming God.
Yeah.
Some people like, God, why this happened? No, that wasn't that. It was God that saved our life, but destroying my house, that's not a God-like act.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This was also a spiritual war.
Yes, sir.
Between the devil and God.
Yeah.
It's deep. Like, now that I'm starting to understand it, it's like, damn, so everything was snatched, and I still woke up. Like,
come on now.
My son still woke up, so somebody watching over. Somebody's doing something, and that's why I said, man, now my mission and my purpose now is to. I've always been humble.
Okay.
But I'm even more humble now.
Man.
Like, I might be the nicest guy, humble. I don't have no problem with nobody.
Right.
Nothing. Like, now, like, it's like, okay, I got me a fresh restart. And it may not have been a restart that I wanted.
Right.
But now it's almost like, instead of saying why me,
right,
why not me?
Correct.
Because now it's like, a lot of people in this situation be like, why me, God? Why me?
Why not me?
And I had to look and say, instead of saying why me, why not me?
Right.
Let me show the world what Jehovah has done. He gave me my biggest role ever. This is my biggest role. This is Oscar.
Yes.
This is Emmy. This is Tony Award. This is everything wrapped in one, but it's the reality award.
Correct.
It's the reality award, because Superman, Captain America, Black Panther, the Marvel, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Me and my son did that in real life, bro.
Yeah, I did it in real life.
Like, so if if it is some talks about a potential movie or docuseries.
Yes, sir.
I can walk you through every step.
Yeah, of a real life hero.
The script is written here.
Yeah.
It don't even gotta be written.
At all.
You see CNN, you see the news, you see Game Changers Media Network podcast.
On,
like you see the story. It's out.
It's out.
Malachi up now on Instagram sharing it.
Come on, man.
He's sharing his story now. Like 2 weeks ago, my son couldn't talk. Wow. Real rap. My son couldn't. May 29th, man, when it was all said and done, after I got discharged, went back to the house, grabbed my phone, did that historical video in the back of the house being destroyed.
Right.
We got my wife's truck, we rolled up to the hospital, and the nurse walked in. And with a nurse or a doctor's job is to give it to you straight.
Yeah.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Let us know what we're facing.
Okay.
What are we up against? She said, okay, his ribs are broke. Every bone in his face is fractured, broke.
Wow.
His spine, top of his neck, broke.
Yeah.
Scars all over his body. We're probably going to have to stitch that shut. Busted. Face like this. And he has a brain injury. He's bleeding on the brain a little bit. She gave it to us and left. That's her job.
That's her job.
She told us everything that we were facing. I told my wife yesterday, I said, when she said that, I balled up. I like curled up on the chair,
right,
and balled up like a baby. but the pain was so excruciating, I couldn't cry.
Wow.
I couldn't shed a tear. That's how much pain I was in listening to her run down everything that was wrong.
Wow.
I couldn't even, like, it was the type of pain and suffering as a father, as a man. I couldn't move.
Wow.
And then when I seen him, his face, and I looked at him, and I was like, damn, like we thought it was over.
Yeah.
We thought it was over, but I thank God that it wasn't over, man, because I mean, wherever my son was, or wherever my son was going to go, I was going. So however that looked.
How is Miss Chaney holding up? The strength of the home, because a lot of story. We get in the media.
Yeah.
With you, we know the limelight. We know people. Hey, the actor from The Wire, Tray. Yeah. But this is a real life situation.
It's a real story, bro.
And how is she doing?
Aisha Chaney, strongest woman I know.
Come on now.
But she's doing the best she can.
Okay.
With the 24 hours a day since May 29th that she's given.
Wow.
And when I say that, you can only imagine a mother's love.
Man. Saying
she's the one that really has to deal with the aftermath. Thank God she wasn't in the house.
Thank God.
I'm glad she wasn't. She didn't experience that. But the hardest part is experiencing him how he is now, because we raised him to be independent. The boy was living in Savannah State University at the college, driving, doing movies, driver's license. So for her to see him go from this 19-year-old boy, never did a drug.
Yeah.
Never did drug, never drink, never was into nothing crazy that I was into back in the day at his age.
Right.
So it's almost like it happened to our son. This the most gentle, humble kid. So her brain, man, is just, some days, some days she in it, some days she out of it.
Okay.
And I think doing the best she can.
Yeah.
Trying to hold on. But still being a mother.
Yeah.
Still at that rehabilitation center, I see there every day.
Every day.
Got her work computer, working from wherever he's at. Still being a wife to me. Still. So even with her, it's like, I think she'll eventually have to have her own conversation on that.
Right.
Because I can't. All I can do is go off of what I see.
Yeah.
And what I feel when I'm with her. Wow. But I don't know deep down inside. But I do know.
You do.
I don't know, but I do know.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation that she would have to, get the courage to share. She talked once, but she's not right now. I don't know how long it's going to take her to really speak about how she feels, but you can only imagine. A mother.
I already know the fireball is coming, man. You know the real story, man. We got to go to one more commercial break. And we're gonna wrap this thing up where Malachi is right now.
Okay.
He's in Shepherd
Rehabilitation Center, the best. Man, so many different activities. He more busier than somebody that got a job.
Come on, man.
He's waking up. They're making him, shower at a certain time. This is when you eat. This is when you do physical therapy. You got to move around to keep working that brain and work your muscles. And they got a gym there. They got, encouraging nurses and doctors to talk to them. Mental health. This is, therapy is serious.
We're going to talk about that. Let's go to a commercial break.
Okay.
Because we definitely got to share our sponsors.
Okay.
Game Changers Magazine, Game Changers Media Network, Voices of the Village podcast, where change starts with conversation. Ease up.
Yeah.
Boom.
Georgia. In America,
We are in what many may call dark days. This is not a game. We are in a crisis that has many in communities across this state and in the nation feeling uncomfortable and, quite honestly, scared and unsure of what tomorrow will bring. In this moment, we need someone that's ready and willing to pull us out of darkness and step into the light of our greatest potential. It is not enough for us to fight against the powers that be, but we also need to fight for something. I desire to fight for you and your family as I announce my candidacy to become governor of Georgia. As governor, I will be that champion. I want to ensure your rights are protected. Civil rights, reproductive rights, human rights, women's rights, LGBTQ rights. I want to protect you from being abducted in our streets. I understand that climate and the environment is important. You deserve clean air to breathe and fresh water to drink. A governor that believes all Georgians deserve good paying jobs, safe homes, and access to affordable health care. But a governor also that believes that giving birth to children in this state should not be a death sentence. Who do we have that is going to lead us to brighter days? A husband, father, business executive, entrepreneur, military veteran. We need someone to restore hope. We need a governor on day one who is ready to battle against the Trump policies, the Republican agenda, and protect the citizens in this state. Every day I will wake up with your family on my mind. I am ready to be a champion for you. Elect me, Derek Jackson, for governor.
Game Changers Magazine, Game Changers Media Network, Voices of the Village podcast. We back with actor and musician Tray Chaney of The Wire. Life after the storm, life after the tornado.
Bruh.
All of that, man.
Yeah.
You know, I want to go, before we wrap this thing up, I want to go back because to that night.
Yeah.
To that night. You know, brothers from, man, it was like the call to action.
Yeah.
Brothers, James Earl AC Lodge number 600, bringing water and food to the people.
Yeah.
First boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mayor Carlos
Yeah.
Greer, City of Locust Grove.
Called me, yeah.
It's Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Bringing food, you know?
Wow.
Former Mayor Pro Tem Vincent Williams donating a trash bin where people can put wood and things that were coming out of their that was in their yard, trash that was laying in their yard. Former Mayor Pro Tem Vincent Williams donates a dumpster and says, you know what? Tell the people they can dump this stuff in their yard so they can get somewhat back to normal.
Wow.
No charge. Now remember, you got storm chasers of people who go around to people's houses and say, hey, we'll fix your window, we'll fix your roof. You just pay us this, you just pay us that, and you're taking it. And I feel personally, some of those people were taking advantage of people in a time of weakness, vulnerability.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But our community stayed strong. Our community stayed strong. They supported the Chaney family.
Yeah.
Community came together like no other. But right now, we're at a point where Malachi's rehabilitating.
Yeah.
It's after ICU.
Yeah.
It's after being in the room at the hospital. It's at Shepherd Spinal Center.
Yeah.
Right? Where's the future for Tray Chaney, Malachi, the Chaney family? What does that look like moving forward?
Yeah.
Now that life has changed.
Yeah. Now that life has changed, it's the taking it one day at a time.
Okay.
We building our family, our lives back, brick by brick.
Wow.
Malachi's in a rehabilitation center right now, Shepherds. He has a lot of great activities that he's doing right now.
Okay.
He already feels that he does not need to be there. And the crazy thing is, the nurses called the first night and said, we don't mean to alarm you all, but he jumped out of bed and went to the bathroom on his own, then got back in the bed. He wasn't supposed to do that because he has to wait for the nurse to walk him in case he falls.
Right.
So when I called him, I said, can Kai, you gotta follow what the nurses say. He said, Dad, I wasn't just gonna have them come and take me to the bathroom. I know how to do that.
Yeah.
If he feels he shouldn't be there right now,
Wow.
which is a great sign. Because the nurses said, looking at his progress after only 2 days there, he's not going to be there long.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's the young body at 19, it heals itself in ways that we wouldn't even understand as older guys.
Come on, man.
But the future, man, it's hard to like pinpoint where we're going to be.
Yeah.
Again, we walking with God. We letting it flow like that. We taking it one day at a time.
Right.
We not putting too much on ourselves in a 24-hour time frame that we have in the day.
Right.
Business is being handled with, whether it's with insurance, whether it's with, bills and different things. Like our life before then compared to now is completely different.
Yeah.
A whole different. So right now, I do love the direction that we're headed because things are getting handled as we go forward.
Okay. I believe a ministry is happening.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I ain't talking about from no pulpit either, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
we're walking testimonies.
Walking testimony, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking. These are my wishes.
Okay.
Because now, me with planning is just a little. I'm not scared to plan, but I'm almost like, I don't know, but I do want us to do a worldwide speaking tour.
Yes.
It's the father son testimony, surviving tornado. How we got through it step by step. I would love for that to be mediated.
Okay.
I definitely do want to entertain.
Yeah.
Talking to Marvel for a real time father son superhero movie that they could release next Father's Day.
Come on, man.
Like documentaries, because this is more and it's more than just entertainment. It's education. Because even learning about my son's brain injury, diffuse axonal injury, I didn't know that term. I didn't know nothing about that. That's like when your brain suffers a traumatic hit and it rattles, it shifts in your head. And me and you right now, we're functioning with cells, brain cells like this. Yeah. But getting hit like that, some of them cells could go here and here. Yeah. They got to get back. Yeah. So this is the process of Malachi getting back to normalcy.
Okay.
Being normal again. And because, regardless of how Malachi might feel, I don't need to be a dad. I'm doing good. You still got to heal. Because you did get thrown. You survived the tornado. Like I said, we did the strong part.
We did the strong part.
But you still gotta heal your mind. You gotta heal your brain, your body, physically, spiritually. And then me, Aisha, and Malachi, we don't know next 3 months if we gonna be all the way right mentally. Because right now we still in it.
You still in the shop?
We still in the.
I mean, we only literally 2 weeks.
2 weeks, bro.
2 weeks.
We looking at this a long road to recovery. It's a long road to recovery, but it is a beautiful story and it's a beautiful testimony for how people day to day, like our day to day dealing with. Because day to day for us.
Yeah.
At one point, it looked like, okay, Cal about to go back to college. Yeah, let's do a party for him. Boom. You back in college. You doing your thing. You running every day. Oh, I'm on set. Set here in Atlanta. Oh, I might got to fly to New York. I'm recording. Wifey, she at work doing her thing. She's an amazing fashion designer. She's in the home office designing, making clothes. Oh, me and Wifey, we got to go out of town. I got a movie premiere. I'm a producer on something in Miami, California. Now, it's hotel. We got to be at Malachi's bedside when he does his therapy at this time. Oh, he's there all day, every day. Okay. You don't got to worry about him leaving.
Okay.
I got to go meet the adjuster over at the house that's destroyed. Because they want to. So now it's.
I got to go get clothes. I got to get food.
I got to go get clothes. I got to go get water. I got to get food. I got to turn this rental car in because I don't have a car, and they want to give me trouble on, hey, if we don't have an adjuster or somebody demolition out there to move that off, we're going to have to take the car until you Tray can get that off. And it's like, me? What do I have insurance for?
Right.
Y'all supposed to be sending out an adjuster. Have you even seen the house? No, we haven't. So you don't even realize that this shit is gone.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
And you still putting it, like I said, man, it's so many different levels of dealing with life after the storm, life after the tornado, until it's like, what do we, but to answer the question again, it's one day at a time. The great thing is Malachi is making progress. That was the most important thing.
Yes.
He's making progress. Me and Aisha are making progress on rebuilding our life.
Okay.
And we're going to continue. We're never losing faith in God.
Not at all.
Again, we can't blame nobody for what happened, and nobody can blame us for what happened. So life is really, when people say life is life. Life. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to come up with a term for that, because life ain't just lifing right now. Life is like, we doing a little bit more than just lifing, But remaining positive, man.
And making it do what it do.
Remaining positive, making it do what it do, and not really putting too much stress on myself. Even now, still able to smile.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think forever, I'll always have my days where it's tough. Like you've been a real big help, for me.
I appreciate that.
Having, game changers and making sure that everything that I got to do business-wise as far as computers, and because I lost everything. I don't got that stuff no more. So it's like you being my brother, like, hey, bro, I got this for you. Come on. This studio is my studio.
Absolutely.
Your home is my home. It's like, so right now, bro, we the Chaney family just need prayers, bro.
Man.
Like, if people could just, I do have a GoFundMe, because it's a lot to rebuild.
A lot.
The GoFundMe is in the link in my bio, and Tray Chaney Vision. That's my Instagram. And even if you don't donate to that, we just need prayer.
Shout out to Shaquille O'Neal, DC Curry.
Yeah, man. DC Young Fly.
Sheriff Reginald Scandred.
Yeah, Sheriff Scan. That's my man.
Man, they stepped up big time, right?
They really did, man. And they continuing to step up. And we still, this conversation is something that we always going to have.
Okay.
We always going to continue this. Because, I feel this right here is just giving people hope.
Yeah.
It's giving people hope. I might, like you said, I might be changing somebody's life right now that's going through a dark time.
That's right.
They might not have suffered from a tornado, but they might be looking at me like, well, man, if he's staying strong on this, what I got going on ain't. And another thing, man, I just want to encourage the viewers and the people out there watching, man, be kind to people, man.
Be kind to people.
Yeah, man, because you never know what somebody going through. You never know what somebody is getting ready to go through.
Come on now.
So whatever energy or feelings that you had towards somebody, or that you have towards somebody right now, life is designed, and I know this from being in it. Life is designed in a way where you here today, gone tomorrow.
Correct.
So you never know. It's just now I understand that term, being kind to people and saying thank you and you're welcome and being thankful and grateful that you above ground, because this thing could be different. And I just feel that my family is the example. Malachi Chaney, my son, definitely an example. My wife Aisha, me, we're examples of, regardless of what the circumstances are, we ain't folding, bro.
Not at all.
We ain't folding. It ain't. We still here. We still here to tell whatever this story is. It's drama, horror, nightmare, beautiful, whatever it, because it's all wrapped in one.
It's all wrapped in one.
Just seeing my son while he was suffering, something that really like touched me and my wife. His ribs was broke, and he kept extending his arms out saying, "I love you." And my wife gave me a different perspective on that last night. She said he probably thought he wasn't going to make it, so he kept, "I love you, Dad." He couldn't hardly talk.
Yeah.
And then I had to kind of like directly tell him, don't ever say something again that he said. Because during his time of suffering, he was saying he was sorry. And I was like, what are you apologizing for, Kai?
Come on, man.
Like, nah. I told him, don't, as your father, don't ever say that again.
Don't ever say that again.
Never again say. He was apologizing for being hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
That got me, because I was like, damn, he think him being in the hospital is a burden. But that shows the type of person my son is. Yeah. Like, it just, that's some real shit, bro.
Stand up guy.
That's some real shit. Like, yes, it's almost like accountability.
Okay.
And it's like, you don't have to do that.
Not at all.
You don't have to do that.
Not at all. Man, we look at life. It's so amazing, Malachi's story. It's so and the things that's happening, right here. People take for granted toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, toilet tissue, underwear, socks. You know what I mean? And you've been a recipient from, like you say, God took you from having everything you wanted to now nothing. And starting over. But to see that people, regardless of your social status, regardless of who you are, people say, you know what, we gotta help this family. We gotta be there for this family. We gotta call. We gotta pray. We gotta do whatever we can to help this family cope through. What perspective does that give you towards like people now? I'm not saying that you had a bad perspective towards people. But what perspective does that give you when you look at people like valuing people? Because you just talked about how we need to value people.
Well, for me, it just, you know what? It shows that it's some great people in the world.
Okay.
That's willing to give you the shirt off their back.
That's right.
If they can relate to what's happening, because everybody can relate to pain. Everybody can relate to loss, losing a loved one. Everybody can relate to certain things that happen in their life. And I think our story, if it took this tragic, devastating story for my family to experience, for people to come together again, my job is done.
Your job is done.
It's like, all right, well, we did what we had to do.
Right. That's right.
Because that's what's happening. It's bringing people together.
Okay.
And everybody, all of the prayers that's coming up, rooting. Man, we rooting for y'all, man. We got y'all. It's people are coming up to me now. I'm not getting recognized as the guy from The Wire.
Yeah.
I'm not the movie guy no more.
Yeah.
In the last 16 days, my life has changed from movie guy to, yo, can I? Like, people walk up now, yo, can I pray with you? Or a woman walked up to me yesterday and said, can you pray for me? She was asking me to pray for her. And I'm like, yeah.
Come on now.
And she said, I need somebody like you that's been through what you're going through and handling it so well. However you feel, I need you to pray for me.
Come on now.
Because whatever you're going through, I couldn't have went through.
That's right.
So I'm like, that's a different perspective. All right, I pray with you. If whatever the energy people bringing me right now is just like, it's God energy. It ain't it don't got nothing to do with fame, no money. Like I said, my biggest role ever in life was surviving a tornado. My son's biggest role, surviving a tornado.
Correct.
And that's it. It's nothing else to it. It's like perspective on life has changed. I look at things different. it's a lot of things that don't matter for real. Like the material things, a lot of that stuff don't even matter. Even the stuff that I don't have right now, it's like, man, I wouldn't award anyway.
Man, forget that. Yeah.
I'm like, dang, I wouldn't have. Oh, so I still can go. I can go to the store and
Yeah.
a lot of stuff just don't matter no more. Life, family, God first. That's what matters.
Before we go, I want to talk to you something that was very important that you did, and I've seen you repeatedly do online. I've seen you do it in front of me, so I know it's genuine. You know, when men cry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
A lot of our young men.
Yeah.
Are taught that they got to be strong. They got to be, you know.
Yeah.
They can't cry. They can't embrace hurt. They can't embrace like what suffering and pain.
Yeah.
Tell us, inspire that young man or that man that's out there that doesn't feel like he can cry, because the world has told, especially black men, that they can't cry.
Yeah. First thing that comes to mind is my brother Jason Wilson. He has a book out called The Man the Moment Demands.
Okay.
And literally, I started before this tragic thing happened to me. I had started Black Men Read hashtag, where I said I'm going to read one book a month for the rest of my life. I incorporated it in the Tray Chaney conscious diet with me eating healthy, with me reading, prayer, meditation. But I read that book, The Man the Moment Demands, and Jason Wilson talks about the comprehensive man. Okay. And that's what I am. The comprehensive man is the man, we're strong. Yeah. You know, we the heads of our households and wife, kids, grandkids, family man. But we're also vulnerable too.
Come on, man.
So it's nothing wrong with showing your emotions. You're not soft. Yeah. Because you're crying. You're human.
Right.
That's a feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a feeling. When my son was born, June 1st, 2006, I cried so much I had to leave the hospital. Okay. You know, so that the vulnerability and the feelings of a man. Yes. That's what a man is. A man is all of those things wrapped in one.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? That title of that book, The Man the Moment Demands, it's almost like the energy matching whatever energy.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, because I don't want to get too carried away when it comes to, you know, if it's some energy where you gotta handle some business, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Absolutely. But it's the vulnerability of a man. You're going to experience every emotion whatsoever. And right now, I understand what a comprehensive man is. The nurturer of nurturing my son. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Like I said, having to bathe my son. Come on, man. During this critical time, because he couldn't do it himself at 19 years old. Come on, man. I know what that looks like and feels like, and him again being like, nah, this ain't what it is. But it's like even explaining to my son during that difficult time. Yeah, it's cool to cry. It's cool to be in pain. Again, don't ever say again that you apologize for being hurt, for being having broke ribs. You saying you sorry for what?
Come on, man.
You just did. You're an American hero. Okay. You know, you're an American hero. You're a superhero. People around the world are showering you with prayer. So yeah, man, it's nothing wrong with expressing. Yeah. You know, expressing your feelings, man, and expressing how you feel. You know that. I'm if anything, I'm the person now that nothing matters, bro. Like I just lost everything. Correct. You know, so if I'm gonna cry, if I'm gonna laugh, if I'm gonna do whatever, it's cool.
It's cool.
I got a pass to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, before we wrap everything up, man, anything you would like to share with our audience? Because I know we've had you here. I know you got to get back to Malachi. Yeah. And I appreciate you.
No, man. I wanted to do this because I wanted people, and then Dre, for you to be my neighbor. Right. You're my neighbor. So while you experienced this in real time with us.
Come on, man.
You know, like when you told me part of my house, maybe a brick came through your window, bro.
No, your roof went over my
My
house.
roof went over your house. So I don't care what media outlet wanted to talk.
Right.
You was getting that interview first because
Come
it's
on,
like
man.
you was there.
Right.
You walked to my yard and brought me my stuff and said, bro, here go my number. Yeah, we be running around the neighborhood and working out, but this what it is. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, man. I would just like to say, for people to really cherish your loved ones, hug your loved ones, man. And when you say goodbye, to anybody,
okay,
make sure you mean it.
make sure you mean it.
Because you never know if that's the last time you're going to see them.
Come on.
You never know what trials and tribulations that they get ready to face. You never know when you're going to have to pull up for them and be there for them through trying times like this.
Yes.
And just continue to follow my story. Because it ain't over. You know, it ain't over. I mean, like I said, the material things, that's gone, man, which I ain't probably really need anyway.
Come on.
But now you'll be able to come to my page and feel the
feel that energy.
You could feel you definitely will be able to come to my Instagram page, my Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and feel the energy of somebody who's dealing with something.
Okay.
However I'm gonna deal with it. You know, as a human being.
Yes.
So people even being in contact with me right now, you getting the human being part of who Tray Chaney is.
Come on,
you know?
man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tray Chaney Vision, man.
Yeah,
you
man.
guys go and follow Tray Chaney. If you're not following Tray Chaney right now on Instagram and social media, you're missing something special, man. Yeah, it's life after the storm, and we
gonna keep updating.
Yeah,
we're gonna keep updating, man, because Malachi, he in that rehabilitation center for a while.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Yeah.
Man, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Game Changers Magazine, Game Changers Media Network, Voices of the Village podcast with Change Starts with Conversation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned for another exciting episode. Ease up.
Justice and peace and equality. Now the world they will see. That's why we